Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. As the war in the Middle East escalates, so does the politics back home in India. This morning, Sonia Gandhi, the chairperson of the Congress party, fired the first shot. In an opinion piece in the Indian Express, she questioned the Indian government's silence on the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and raised doubts about the timing of the Prime Minister's visit to Israel and open endorsement of the regime there. She said, and I quote, India's lack of a clear response to the killing signals tactic endorsement for the tragedy. She said that silence in this matter is not neutrality, it is abdication. She said no clear remarks from India on the targeted killing of a foreign leader raises serious doubts about the direction and credibility of our foreign policy. Noting that nearly 10 million Indians reside and work across the Gulf, the Congress leader said India's ability to safeguard its citizens has rested on its credibility as an independent, non-aligned actor, not as a proxy. She criticized the Prime Minister for initially condemning Iran's attack on the UAE without addressing the sequence of events that actually led to it. She also said that the killing of Iran's supreme leader came 48 hours after Prime Minister Modi's public endorsement of Benjamin Netanyahu. She called this dangerous silence, and she said this will, or at least should be, debated in Parliament. Soon after, Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi endorsed their mother's view. Rahul Gandhi said Prime Minister Modi must speak up. Rahul asked, does the Prime Minister support the assassination of a head of state? He said silence now diminishes India's standing in the world. The entire opposition since then has rallied together, asking the Prime Minister to say something. Listen in.
We don't know if the Indian government is control of the foreign policy. It somehow seems like the foreign policy is completely outsourced to the Trump administration. The government of India should decide on which side they stand.
ईरान जो हमारा पारंपरिक मित्र है और जहां से हमारा व्यापारिक साझेदारी बहुत ज़्यादा है, तेल का 50% आयात हमारा उधर से ही होता है और उसी रूट से होकर आता है। ऐसी परिस्थिति में जब आप यूएई से भी बात कर रहे हैं, सऊदी से भी बात कर रहे हैं, आप इजराइल से भी बात कर रहे हैं, तो हिंदुस्तान को न्यूट्रल नज़र आना चाहिए। और न्यूट्रल हमारी पॉलिसी है, हमारी विदेश नीति है। लेकिन ईरान के लिए दो लफ्ज भी नहीं बोले गए आपके।
उनका आर्टिकल बहुत मीनिंगफुल है, और क्योंकि भारत ने हमेशा जब भी दुनिया में कोई भी ऐसी घटना हुई है तो उसमें भारत की एक अपनी भूमिका रही है। हमेशा लोग भारत से अपेक्षा करते हैं कि वो ऐसे मौके पर आगे आकर जो भी क्राइसिस है उसको दूर करने का काम करेंगे। लेकिन यहाँ देखा जा रहा है कि भारत अपने आप को एक न्यूट्रल भूमिका में रखना चाहता है, और ये सही नहीं।
जो ईरान के ऊपर हमला किया है उसमें नरेंद्र मोदी चुप है। इजराइल की नेतन्याहू के खूनी हाथ पकड़कर उन्होंने कहा ये भारत की जनता की आवाज है। कौन सी जनता की आवाज है? नरसंहार की मदद के लिए आप इजराइल में गए, गाजा को समाप्त कर रहे हैं इसलिए आप इजराइल गए, और उसकी 24 घंटे के अंदर अंदर ईरान के ऊपर हमला किया। आप भारत की अप्रूवल की छाप देने के लिए गए।
Now, the BJP was quick to react. They called this selective outreach. They said India was not silent and had called for de-escalation. They say, given that almost 1 crore Indians live across the Middle East and given our energy needs coming from there, reckless commentary is neither practical nor responsible. Amit Malviya, in a long tweet, said diplomacy cannot be reduced to appeasement or performative politics. He then went down memory lane and reminded the Congress party that when Libya's dictator was killed by NATO forces, the Congress-led UPA had remained silent. Essentially, the BJP is accusing the Congress of double standards. Amit Malviya has also noted in his tweet that most countries have kept quiet on the killing of the Ayatollah, and India will proceed carefully as well. He said, This is not silence, but statecraft.
भाई सोनिया गांधी जी को याद रखना चाहिए कि उनकी सास हो या उनके सास के पिता हों, उस समय से भारत की नीति जो है वो बिल्कुल नॉन अलाइंड रहने की है। तो एक लंबे समय से भारत की परंपरा रही है कि कभी भी ऐसे दो देशों के बीच में या देशों के समूह के बीच में तनाव बढ़ता है तो भारत हमेशा मध्यस्थता करता है। तो हमने शांति की अपील की और दोनों पक्षों से कहा है कि एकदम डिस्केलेट करना चाहिए।
ठीक है, खमेनी कौन है? देश को उनको संबंध रिश्ता क्या है? क्या रिश्ता है? अपना देश का आदमी है क्या?
गलत बोल रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी दोनों देशों के से वार्ता किए हैं और शांति के लिए उन्होंने पहल की है। अब उनके हिसाब से और प्रधानमंत्री के हिसाब से तो दोनों में बहुत अंतर है ना। उनके कथनी में, इनके करने में, ये काम कर रहे हैं, वो खाली बयानबाजी कर रहे हैं।
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the war continues. Is the Congress attempting a shot at appeasement politics ahead of the upcoming elections, or is this simply a ploy to embarrass the government? Or has India actually chosen a side in this war but doesn't want to articulate it openly? With those questions, I'm going to my guest this evening, Rohan Gupta, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you very much for joining us. Pinak Ranjan Chakravarti is a former secretary of the MEA, joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, sir. Tausif Shah is a senior leader of the PDP, joining us on the broadcast. And Advocate Ashpreet Khadial is spokesperson of the Congress. He's joining us on the broadcast as well. Advocate Khadial, I'm going to come to you first. I must congratulate Sonia Gandhi. The article she has written makes for a very good read. She has argued her point very well. But is this less about India's foreign policy and more about domestic politics?
First and foremost, Shreya, to indulge in wrongdoing is condemnable. And to see it and not say anything is also condemnable. The country has been asking the Bharatiya Janata Party's government, clarify your stand. Do you support this? Or do you condemn this? At least clarify what your stand is. The world was looking forward to India to lead, but the Bharatiya Janata Party's governance has led us to be only a mute spectator. The fact of the matter is that the Bharatiya Janata Party in this debate ought to clarify if they condemn the assassination of Khamenei because there was no formal declaration of war that was done, or do they support it? Number two, Mr. Modi's visit that took place 3 days ago to Israel, that was unnecessary and that was diplomatically contentious. We want to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party's government, is the BJP not aware that 80% of India's crude oil is imported? Do you not understand that the crude oil prices are going to be high, diesel, petrol prices are going to go high, gold, silver rates are going to go high?
I'm sure the Indian government is completely aware of that and not in a position to do anything about it, much like the rest of the world. My simple question to you is this. Is this our war that we need to take a stand? Is this our war? Sometimes it's best to keep quiet, no? When you have about 10 crore people living in the Middle East, Indians, 1 crore Indians living across the Middle East, sometimes silence can be golden.
Number one, back in the day, Mr. Modi in 2016 had made a statement that India and Iran are friends and our friendship, our support to each other go as back as history goes. And after that, after saying that you are a partner, you are a friend, and not even uttering a word when your friend, when your partner is being bombarded, this goes on to suggest how hollow the Bharatiya Janata Party's support and alliance means.
No, is that the argument that the Congress Party is making this evening?
1 second.
हमने बोला था वो हमारा friend है, लेकिन हम उसकी मदद नहीं कर रहे. अरे भाई, as I said, it's not our war, na?
No, 1 second. It's not just about, it's not our war. Should we... Did we not say that discussion is the way out? Did we not say that deliberation is the way out? Dialogue is the way out? Is violence the way that we are going to be supported?
But that is what he said, but I'll let Siddharth Yadav come in.
What does this deafening silence that we have been witnessing, what have we achieved out of it? What have we gotten out of it?
Siddharth
it is embarrassing that the Prime Minister does not even want to speak. Otherwise, his man ki baat is always apparent, is always being done. But today the nation wants to know what is Man Ki Baat is on this very issue.
I'm not sure whether the nation wants to know. I'm not sure whether the nation wants to know or the Congress party wants to know. But I will let Siddharth Yadav come in and respond to you. Siddharth Yadav, is it not a bit odd that the government of India, which has robust diplomatic ties with Iran, with the Islamic Republic of Iran, doesn't say a word after their top leader, their supreme leader, is taken out in an American airstrike? Isn't it a bit odd? I mean, it almost tells you that India has taken a side in this war.
Good evening, Shreya. Good evening to all your viewers. I can understand that the Congress party has a difficulty understanding India's position, but if the same difficulty is extended to others, then it makes me a bit uncomfortable. India has said and stated a very clear stance. We stand for dialogue and diplomacy. We stand for peace in the world. We want peace in the Middle East. This is India's stand. The role of the Indian government is to protect the interests of Indians. It is the role of the Indian government is not to get into vote bank politics or not to appease anybody in India, not to say or do anything so that you can get some extra votes in the next elections. That's not how governments function. Probably the Congress party can't think beyond that. Probably the Congress party can wholly have an understanding when it comes down to their vote bank. But the government of India or the country will not function as per the whims and fancies of Congress party. But let me just now, for the sake of your viewers, expose the hypocrisy of Congress party. Why was this not done when earlier such incidents happened?
Gaddafi, for example.
Why was this not done in Gaddafi? Why was this not done in Saddam Hussein? You tell me that you were in power. I have this news article from the time when Natwar Singh had come out and publicly said that when Saddam Hussein was hanged, Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi were mum. They did not utter a word. Why so? When Gaddafi happened, I have with me the official stance of the Ministry of External Affairs. You were in power. You did not utter a word when that happened. And you said, we want stability in the world. That's what you said. But when you are in opposition, the stance change. What makes Khamenei different is my question.
Please.
What makes?
Advocate Khadial, please respond. Let him respond to it.
I'm just taking 20 seconds. I'm summing up my argument. I have exposed this hypocrisy of the Congress party just for the sake so that the viewers can understand that the difference in stance is for a different reason. Congress party is not concerned about Israel, Iran, or US. They are only concerned about their vote bank politics. They are doing politics and they are keeping the country at stake. This is unfortunate.
Ashpreet Khadial, please respond to that. You know, there cannot be one foreign policy for the Congress and another foreign policy for the BJP. It has to be consistent. So if nothing was said when Gaddafi was killed, nothing was said when Saddam Hussein was killed, why should we say anything when Ayatollah has been killed?
Well,
Ye to hypocrisy hui na. This is hypocrisy then.
I'll tell you what hypocrisy is all about. They say they have a 56-inch ki chhati. They say we'll call a spade. We'll call out the wrongs. We'll call out the violence. We believe in diplomacy, dialogue, discussion, etc. But then don't do it. So the Bharatiya Janata Party ought to stop doing hot and cold at the same time. Number two, my request to the Bharatiya Janata Party is at least look at your own former leader, Mr. Vajpayee sir. Back in the day when he was the External Affairs Minister and he was on a trip to China, he cut short the trip and conveyed a message that if in case any wrongdoing is done, back then China had attacked Vietnam.
No, you respond to the hypocrisy.
One second.
I'm giving you an opportunity to respond to the point that Siddharth Yadav is making about the Congress's hypocrisy. आप जवाब दीजिए ना उसका.
I am only saying, one second, I am only saying that at least look up to your own leaders. Mr. Vajpayee cut short his trip and conveyed a message.
Had you looked up to Vajpayee ji, you would have been in a better spot. Today you want to look up to Vajpayee ji.
We will say it is wrong, we will call it out.
ठीक है.
Now Congress party is follower of Vajpayee ji. This is a new development. They will follow Vajpayee ji.
If you interrupt me, I'll have to interrupt you, Siddharth. Have the patience, have the decorum.
Now this is another war going on in your show.
मेरे show पे no war. Only peace on my show. I don't want a war in this show for TRPs. Go, please complete your point. Complete your point, Advocate Ashpreet Khadial. मैं फिर पूछ रही हूँ आपसे. If you think I'm going to let go of the question, I'm not. There is a hypocrisy that the BJP has pointed to. Facts bear it out. अब आप मुझे बताइए, if during Gaddafi's time, the Congress kept quiet when it was in government, then why should the BJP speak now when the Ayatollah has been killed by the Americans?
Now, answering your question, we are done with the BJP's whataboutery. They will not answer the question. They will only talk about... one second, allow me to complete. This is the kind of seriousness that they have. This is the kind of decorum that they have. Allow me to complete now.
No, chalo.
They are quiet today.
People are allowed to smile, yeah. It's a day before Holi. Come on, Ashpreet. इतना सीरियस नहीं लेने का है, डिबेट ही है ये. हम लोग मतलब जंग पे नहीं हैं. We are not at war with each other. Let first Mr. Khadial will complete his point. No one will interrupt him. Yes.
Thank you, Shreya. Thank you, Shreya. That is exactly what we expect from the BJP. They do this. Now, coming to the point. The fact of the matter is they are quiet today. When Khamenei was assassinated, they were quiet when Maduro was picked up, and they'll be quiet. And we only want to know what your majburi is. Why are you so silent? Why are you so quiet? What is the reason behind it? Because USA, the so-called friend of Mr. Modi, Donald Trump, he kept on saying it to the world time and time again that I will impose tariffs on India. I will ensure that there are trade issues. India will have to suffer. That I will time and time again make sure that... Well,
I would say India is only minding its own business. But the Congress is it odd that India has not spoken after the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei? It is a bit odd. But India has its reasons. Our national interest comes before anything else. There is no point us becoming Chaudhrys, na?
Then why did Mr. Vajpayee
and stabbing our own national interest? Arey, aap Vajpayee ji ko chhod dijiye. He is dead and gone. Tausif Shah, just come in here. You know, the Congress party spokesperson is saying, ऐसी क्या मजबूरी है that we can't speak? मजबूरी है. And my counter question is, ऐसी क्या मजबूरी है that we have to speak on the killing of Ayatollah Khamenei?
Very good evening, Shreya, and to all of the panelists. I just try to consolidate the debate between Narendra Modi 2024 and Narendra Modi 2026. When the president of the same nation died in an air crash, Mr. Rasai, we declared a one-day mourning. It was the same nation, it was the same Iran whose president died in an air crash, in a normal air crash. It was no assault or anything else. It was a normal air crash. So we declared one-day mourning. Why today, when the supreme leader of the same nation dies, we are tight-lipped, we are speaking on Dubai, we are speaking to Dubai rulers, we are speaking to Kuwait, we are speaking on Israel, we are speaking on America. Why don't we utter a single word on Iran? Because we have been friends, we have been very much, we have been culturally associated with Iran since not decades, but centuries, I can say. We are related to Iran. We have many people from Iran who have settled down in India, and they are now the citizens of India. So now why we have a very long history with Iran. So we are very close to Iran than any other country. Now, if we see this, now, if we have the situation that we want to become the Vishwa Guru, as Narendra Modi is predicting and is saying, and now if India aspires to become the global leader, we must demonstrate that its principles are universal, not situational. We are doing, this is a very mere situational kind of a thing that we are trying to see कि जहां से हवा चल रही है, जिस दिशा में हवा तेज जा रही है, हम भी उसी दिशा में भागते हैं.
Okay.
बाकी सब पार में जाने दीजिए.
ठीक है. Pinak Chakravarti, would you want to respond to that? My own sense is that we are in the middle of a war. At least the Middle East is in the middle of a war, and our foreign policy will have to be flexible. I mean, at least that is the sense the BJP and the government is giving us. But anyhow, respond to the points that Tausif is making. He's making some very valid points.
Well, yes, I think, first of all, let me say hello to all my panelists and to you, and also say that I'm a bit out of place here. I'm not a political person, but I know how foreign policy is made. That is what I know. And let me tell you that foreign policy is dynamic. It's never static. It changes with the geopolitical situation where you find yourself in. And it has happened. You can look at history and what the history of our foreign policy making. You will find enough evidence to show that we have not stuck to one position every time. So with that thing, I would say that when you have a situation like this, and I must say it's a very, very dangerous situation, it's a huge challenge for our foreign policy and all that, we naturally, when you sit down and discuss the professionals, they look at options. You know, when you sit and say, okay, here are my options. I can say this, I can say this, I can say that, or I take this position. Once those options are outlined, then you analyze each option, saying, is this in my interest?
Correct.
Or is this in my interest? That is how the foreign policy experts and professionals sit down and discuss.
Okay.
So in this case, I feel, the last point, I feel that we had made a decision saying that there is enough historical evidence to show that we have not condemned such things every time.
Correct.
So there is no consistency. And hence, if we do not condemn this, it will not be inconsistent.
Okay.
That is all.
Ashpreet, this is a professional diplomat speaking. He is not from the BJP, right? He is not Mr. Modi's friend. But he's telling you the practicality of moving in a world that is fraught with conflict. Above anything else, we have to look out for our national interests. That is what India is doing. The charge coming from the BJP and Siddharth Yadav in the panel this evening is कि आप ये domestic politics के लिए कर रहे हो. You want to embarrass the government. And ये अभी election आने वाले हैं. So this is full appeasement, Muslim appeasement that is underway. Nothing else.
See, Shreya, if assassination for the Bharatiya Janata Party is a small thing, I would say it's sorry state of affairs. The BJP spokesperson should be ashamed of himself if he calls the assassination of a first in command of a country a small issue. He should introspect. He should go get some training before uttering such shameful words. And number two, back in the day when Maduro was picked up, Mr. Modi didn't say a word. So when will we say? What does the BJP consider big, important, significant? Please lay it out for us. Because the country does not know which way to go, because our government is silent, because our first in command, Mr. Modi, is silent. Otherwise, the Bharatiya Janata Party has a lot to speak. They have a lot to do. But when it comes to important issues, when it comes to leading, when it comes to being Vishwa Guru, the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot even execute what they had themselves said back in the day.
But
that we lead the world. That
but
is what
non-alignment guides our foreign policy. Na? Right now, we are non-aligned. We are neutral.
I'll just say one thing, Shreya.
And non-alignment is the bane of the Congress party, by the way.
My request is that if the Bharatiya Janata Party says that nothing should be done, they should condemn Mr. Vajpayee for what he did back in the day when he had cut short his China trip because of the violence.
Then so you should also condemn Manmohan Singh.
They should do it.
No, then you should also condemn Manmohan Singh for keeping quiet when Gaddafi was killed.
Why is Mr. Modi trying to appease USA? Is what we want to know. Because we have only gotten tariffs. We have only gotten trade issues, visa restrictions from the US. Ab ki baat Trump sarkar, howdy Modi, namaste Trump. All these things have been happening, but we have gained nothing out of it. US, on the other hand, has gained everything. So why is Mr. Modi afraid of Donald Trump? Why is Mr. Modi afraid
15 seconds, Siddharth. I have to wrap this show because there's a lot happening across the Middle East.
I'm sorry, Shreya, this can't be this unfair. It can't
bolo,
be this unfair. I'm sorry.
Bolo.
अब सुनना पड़ेगा.
I just want to say. Hurry up.
नहीं, अभी तो मेरे को सुनिए. आपको fair रहना पड़ेगा तो आपको मेरे को सुनना पड़ेगा. I have a very simple request. The Congress spokesperson should not be using such words for Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi ji. They should not be saying कि ना इतना shameful है, ashamed है. Gaddafi was also the first in command. When he was killed, you did not utter a word. आप अपने leaders को ऐसा मत बोलिए. Point number one. Point number two, see the hypocrisy of Congress party. If another country intervenes and kills the first in command, Rahul Gandhi is the one from our country who goes to foreign soil and says that foreign powers should intervene. आप इस आइडियोलॉजी को सपोर्ट करते हैं. You want foreign powers to come and intervene in India, to come and charge of affairs, to fix the democracy in India. And when such a thing happens, now you change your stance. This is nothing else but hypocrisy of the Congress party. This is nothing else but appeasement of Congress party. कुछ नहीं करना, चुनावों में कुछ वोट और लेने हैं, उसके लिए 4 बातें और बोलनी है. That's it. That's the policy.
Okay. Is this reckless commentary or is it a fair ask? I think we've heard from all sides. I'm going to thank all of them for joining us this evening. Siddharth Yadav, Pinak Ranjan Chakravarti, Tausif Shah and Advocate Arshpreet Khadial. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast.